guys, it's Tina from the Scrappin Rabbit blog, and I have this really pretty 3D gift card pop-up holder. And I made this and I just fell in love with it, and I wanted to show you guys how to do it. Isn't that pretty? I just love this flower. This is from the Digiplayground.com, and it is called 3D pop-up gift card flower box. And if any of you are like me, I give a lot of gift cards away, and I usually just pop them in the card in an envelope, but I think that this makes a bigger statement, and I think it's just so pretty, and it turned out, I love the way that it turned out. And it's just, oh, let's open it again. Isn't that neat? And it just kind of pops up so the recipient can see what it is. And then it folds closed like that. Okay, once you are on your Cricut Design Space, you'll want to click on Upload Images. And I have uploaded my image and saved it because it's an SVG file, and here it is right over here. So you would click on Upload Image, select it where you have it on your files, and then bring it in, and it'll appear down here with all your other uploaded images. So you'll go ahead and click on that to select it, and then insert it to Design Space. Once you're in Design Space, the first thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that you have the correct size. In the title of this SVG, it says DS for Design Space width, and it gives you 11.8294. So you're going to want to make sure that your grouping here is that size. So you'll click on Edit, and it says 11.82. I'll just go ahead and add the 94 to get it to be as exact as possible, and that will cut out your box to fit the standard gift card. So you want to make sure that that is correct. And as you can see, it is all grouped to one piece. When you have these little dashes, they take the place of the score lines, you're going to want to make sure that they are attached to your box pieces, or they will cut separately and not like you see it here. So the first thing you'll do is right click and ungroup it. And now you can see that these cuts are all free. So you're going to want to select the box pieces, right click on them, and attach. And that way these are one piece, and it will cut exactly as you see it right here. If you look at them and see that they're separate pieces, you know that you have to attach. So for instance, if I move this piece over, these lines are not attached, and so they will cut as two individual cuts. So you don't want that, so you'll undo to make sure that it's lined up exactly how it's meant to be. You'll select it, right click, and attach. And now they are all one piece, and it will cut just like you see it. If you wanted to use different color cardstock for these pieces, now would be the time to go to Layers and select it and change the color so that you can customize it how you want it to appear on your mat. I'm going to leave mine just like this, and then I'll go to my cut screen and go ahead and cut out all of my pieces. Okay, so now I have all my pieces cut, and so let's go ahead and put this together. This paper is Bo Bunny Isabella Savvy, I think it is, and I just love it. It's so pretty with these butterflies and these roses and these polka dots. And let's go ahead and start by making the flower. As you can see, there's one cut of every size, and it basically is going to build on top of each other. And so it'll do that, and it'll stack all the way up. But what I like to do with mine is I like to ink it a little bit to give it a distressed look, and my favorite ink to use for that is this Tea-Dye Tim Holtz Distress ink. So I'm going to go ahead and just lightly brush the edges of all these petals just to give it a little bit of a finished look. Once you have your flowers and your leaf petals distressed, I take one of my really skinny paint brushes, and all I do is I flip it over and I just curl it. I curl each petal just like that. Really easy and very fast. And you can use a stylus, you can use a pen, but I like this really skinny paintbrush. That seems to work the best for me. And just curl, curl, curl. And then when you get to the leaves, you'll want to do the same thing. Give just a little bend on each of the leaf tips. Once you have all your petals curled, then you're going to want to go ahead and put your flower together. It's best to put the petals in between one another so that it turns out to be a stacked look, and don't line up the petals, because then you'll have more of that kind of a look, and it does look pretty and more full when you do it like that. What you can do is you can use glue dots, use wet glue, and glue the center of each of those pieces. But I have this really pretty brad that I want to use for the center, just like I did for this one. And so what I'm going to do is use my piercing tool, and I'm going to start with the smallest piece and just poke a hole to put my brad through. And then I'm going to poke a hole in each piece and slide it through to stack it to make my flower. And here's my last petal to add to my stack. So putting the box together just couldn't be any easier. All of these lines, these little tick marks here, make it so easy to just fold all of your pieces over. And you can do it with your bone folder to get a nice good fold. But honestly, because those marks, you don't even need it. They just go right into place, just folding it over like that with your fingers. And so that's what I do, is I just fold over every piece so I can see how it's all going to fit together. And then these big pieces, big sides. And then easy peasy to put my box together. I like to use this quick dry Scotch adhesive. You can use double-sided sticky tape, the red tape, or whatever kind of adhesive you have. You could even use glue dots if you want. And basically all you're going to do is add a little glue on these little squares here on the outside. Fold it in place. Hold it just for a few seconds. And it comes right together. And so you'll do the same thing with this other little square piece. This is going to go on the inside, so you want to make sure that you put the glue on the inside piece. Once you've glued all those pieces, the little square ones in, then now you have a top that folds over just like that. You have a nice little box. Now what I did with my other box was I cut this little notch just to make it easier for the recipient to open it. And what I used for that, you could actually just alter the cut in Design Space if you wanted to. Or you can do this to get a bigger notch before you glue it. But I have this little Marvy punch, and if I slide that in there, it's just going to make a tiny notch like that. And if you want it bigger, then just do it before you fold that piece over and glue it. And so I just center it. Make sure I got the top here. And gave it a little cut. And then there you have a little notch to make it easier to open. And so for the part that actually holds the gift card, you will see that you have the opening that the card goes in, and then right underneath it you have your cut lines. So that one is going to fold, you're going to fold the cut part down. That was the only confusing one for me, was that one. But then it makes sense because you want the card to sit up like that. And then this one will fold in, and then this one will fold out that way. So you have this opening where your gift card is going to go in. And so you'll put that piece flush to the front of the box, and then you'll put this top piece flush to the top of the box, gluing here and here on the inside, and then you'll have your pop-up effect. Just like that. So once you have it folded, you'll be able to visualize how it's going to sit in there. So you'll want to flip it over and glue here and glue here. And so I'll go ahead and I'll fold this one back so I can sit this in just like that. Push down, and then the same thing here. I'll push it in to be flush to the top. Seal that in there, and there you go. So the box comes with this cut to use a contrasting cardstock to go on top. And I opted to not use it for this box because the paper was so pretty, and I thought that how it cut on the machine where the placement was, it didn't need it. So I opted to not use that piece for this box. But for this one, I'm thinking that I will. I think I like the way that it looks with that contrasting piece. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece on here with some Scotch adhesive. Get it on there, nice and centered. Okay, and then you'll have your flower and your leaves to go on there, however you want to place them, whatever makes you happy. And for a sentiment, I thought that this was just perfect. And this sentiment is from Jaded Blossom, Gift Cards Galore. This is definitely one of the best sentiment sets out there for gift cards, and it just worked perfectly. A gift for you. And this banner is from My Creative Time for Me dies, and I just cut it out with vellum, and then I stamped and embossed the sentiment. This one I did a brown ink because it went better with the colors, and for this one I did black. happy how these turned out. And these are at digiplayground.com. There you go. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to sharing some more creations with you. Have a wonderful day.